Hey, one and all, welcome to the TFL podcast. We are here sitting at episode 99 in this funny off week.
Just pump this up then.
My headphones are going to fall off. You're here with Rowan the Boat and Arch.
It's that guy.
And we are in almost Mad Monday vibes. That's what I'm feeling at the moment. Chris, it's like we got 2 more episodes of this podcast that we've done for 3 years, and we both know it's ending. We told everyone it's ending, and we're just here to talk crap and have a good time now, especially because no one cares about Pro Bowl. And we got a week before the Super Bowl with our last episode 100, coming up next week. So tune in,
this
everyone.
isn't a Pro
for
Bowl
that one.
DFS pod?
I'm pretty sure Draft Stars isn't offering the Pro Bowl.
Oh, dang.
I know DraftKings does. Like,
Do
what
they?
a joke. Yeah. I'm pretty
Someone's
sure
gonna
they
win
do.
some money, I guess.
Oh, look, it's, you can't stop those Americans betting on just junk. It's like preseason NFL all over again. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, conference championships just gone. Hopefully tonight we'll see some guests pop up on our screen, some other Aussie
Yes.
NFL fantasy content creators. And
Yeah, I need to
get them
know
on
who
here,
to listen
pump
to
their
now
stuff.
that I'll stop listening to my own gear. I'll have to find someone else.
That's it. I mean, yeah, look, someone needs to do some Aussie DFS stuff next season while we're out. Like, come on.
I guess the Draft Stars have their show, don't they?
They do, although if you know the Draft Stars show, then Smatho's actually been employed by Draft Stars. He's moving on from Daily Fantasy Rankings, which is that big, pretty substantial website. That's the one that ranks all the Aussie DFS players. So we're on their Arch, and don't look us up. That's all I can say.
Don't. Have you looked us up?
I mean, I had a good little stretch, like at the 6 weeks, right at the beginning of the season. I was like, look myself up, but you had to make it really specific parameters to find me.
Well, look, we just don't have the bankroll to really make a splash,
No,
really,
not
do
at all.
we?
I'm a dad of 1 and 1 on the way. You're a dad of 4.
Yeah,
It's just like if we were single, and we could just drop $1,000 from or even more from our hard-working jobs that we've got, and see what that could do and grow it and stuff like that. I just don't have the time or the money to afford anything like that, sadly. But
no. But
that's why the
really,
50-cent $2 competitions are there, so I can win little
get
bits
the
of money.
same
and
contest going on. It's fine.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, Arch, how you been?
Look, it's a bit flat this week. We're first week back teaching, and for those who know the SA situation, it's a half online teaching business, half face to face. Depends on what you teach. So, this morning I had year 12s in my classroom. Then I went off to a little hidey hole and taught year 11s and 10s.
And you don't have an office to yourself either, do you?
I had to find a little dungeon of the school that I could set myself up. Teaching to a screen is horrible. I mean,
it sucks.
I've done it for 2 days now, Rowan. One of our potential guests tonight, Seamoz, did it for pretty much most of the last year in New South Wales. So probably shouldn't complain too much around him. But it is what it is. We're back working. We have to work for our money. It turns out we can't just have the endless summer.
I can't win it all. He's saying.
How about you, old Rosalind?
Yeah, look, doing all right, and luckily I didn't have to go back with students just yet. Our school comes back a little bit later. Seamoz. It was horrendous, he says, and
I'm done after 2 days. I tell you what, I'm done.
Man, it's one of a kind, and so I'll have a week of it next week, but otherwise it's just getting ready for the year. And look, I've got a little one coming in a month time, under that now, so just getting ready for baby number 2. And thanks for your advice, Arch, about how crap this jump from 1 to 2 kids is. Really got me excited for this next stage of my life. So appreciate all those tips and bastard.
Yeah, look, it's misery. What can I say? Everyone's a blessing, Rowan. It's going to be great.
Of course. All right. Well, Arch, let's talk some football. How was the conference championships last week?
Look, as much as I could watch because I was working, unlike probably yourself, Ron. Incredible. Just how Cincinnati's defense just switched on and just stop after stop after stop.
Like, it was crazy.
Was that that Mahomes meltdown in that from the end of the first half onwards is monumentous.
Yeah. Like, it was just astounding at home as well. Like, this is just like, for me, I look at this and I go, it's a defensive coaching masterclass. Zach Taylor's just gone off at halftime. How do we
feel about
absorbed.
Zach Taylor, Super Bowl coach?
It's just, look, it's exciting. I love it. This is a great underdog story. Joe Burrow's, like, everyone loves Joe Burrow now. It's great. Yeah. And the trade it makes me feel great for my main dynasty league, right? At the beginning of the year, beginning of the season, I palm off Patrick Mahomes for Joe Burrow and 2 first-rounders. And it's just nice. Like, I know it's not the dynasty season.
And the league went on crazy about how the other bloke, got Mahomes for nothing. It's like, you serious? Like, it was a good trade.
Well, that was a good trade. And look, I've got a top 5 quarterback here for dynasty. Like, Joe Burrow is going to be, just phenomenal with Jamar Chase for so long. Look, we got these guys that are going to jump on with us soon. Jump on whenever you're ready, boys, if you can hear us. We just want to shoot the breeze. So
yeah, we literally have no show notes tonight. It's just literally chalking up an episode. So tomorrow we raise the baton at 100.
Tomorrow, you mean next week?
Oh, you know what I'm chat. Yeah. Oh, here's the man.
Here we go. I'm ready. Seamers, how are you, bro?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, doing good. Welcome back. You're a veteran of the pod, obviously.
Yeah, the two-time veteran, right? I'd love to see those NFL players that say I've played 2 games and now I'm a veteran.
That's it. Hey, do you want to give a plug for your stuff? Your Sheep Station Dynasty podcast is a championship pod. I'm getting the name wrong. You need to say it for us.
So yeah, we have changed our name this year, but it's Sheep Station Dynasty Podcast is our little pod. We're in the full swing of rookie analysis at the moment. So 2022 rookies. We started yesterday on our rookie analysis. So latest episode, hit it up on whatever you need to. Oh, it's playing in the background. Look out. I was like, what's going on? My computer's taking over. That's the one.
I've just come prepared.
One of my favourite pod intros. I thought I'd just quickly bring it up. Self-made, who plays guitar here?
Mate, the music department at school hit me up with that one.
Yes.
Yeah, I hit him up. I said, he loves a bit of a jam. He just, cracks out the guitar in the playground every now and then. And I said, mate, just a little intro for a podcast, and off you went.
Yeah. No. The first time I listened to it, I'm like, that's a bloody good intro. So
yeah.
I just ripped off an old 90s Christian punk band from Adelaide intro that just so happens I work with his brother, and I thought that's the closest I could get to a royalty-free sort of gig here. Oh, we've got the trolls on today.
No, we have got the trolls.
Vom.red, yes. Anyway, we've got Tom waiting in the wings. Let me put him on as well.
No, not jeez, the Bengals fan.
He's on.
How long did it take to get the dust off that jersey, mate?
Still got the tags on it.
Just so we can return it.
Just in case all goes awry next week. Tom, you're from Fig Jam Sports. Tell us a bit about yourself, and maybe you're clearly a Bengals fan. Maybe just give us a sneak peek into what Monday was like for you.
I think if anyone read my Twitter, during the game, I think they'd understand what I was going through. It was an experience. I think the game against the Titans was probably more stressful because I really thought Ryan Tannehill was going to take that ball down the field and what ended up happening? We get an interception? I can't remember now, but it was just a blur. Like, seriously, it was unbelievable.
It's phenomenal. Look, the Bengals story is one of a kind. You went to the Titans, you won away. You went to Mahomes Arrowhead and you won away. Like, if you take this out, that's 3 away wins in the playoffs. I'd love to know what other team has done that in the past. Like, that's just a crazy effort.
I was pretty confident against the Chiefs. Like I thought with the second half we played perfectly. We took Mahomes and Hill out of the game completely, and that's how we beat them in round 17. And I thought if we can do that again, I was pretty confident we could. I thought we could beat the Chiefs, but the Titans scared me. Like AJ Brown was fit, Derrick Henry was back fit. Their defense, I saw what they did to the Rams. That defense, I was shitting myself. And Joe Burrow got sacked 10 times or something and we still won. That game was better than the Chiefs game for me, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Look,
well, you're not packing it at 21-3. Like that's how could you be still confident after that first half at 21-3? Holy moly!
Yeah, I actually turned it off. I started watching it a bit, and I thought I'll turn it back on in the last quarter.
So
You're lucky I did.
Yeah, smart. It was just the defense just turned it on. I love that. Like that's just like I was saying before, great coaching. Zach Taylor just absorbs all the information from the first half and just comes out, sets things up, schemes things the right way, and that interception, 2 interceptions, one in the fourth and one in the overtime. Just it was great to watch. That's for sure.
Look, Brad Bolt's listening right now. He's got 15 minutes to put the kids to sleep and get on here, okay? I'm sure that's the excuse.
I tell you what, we had a good little co-ownership of a Devi League. I don't think we made a single transaction. Maybe one, and he just did it without me. Good co-ownership, really.
You got to plug. We got to plug Brad's stuff though. He's doing stuff with NFL Labs. Check him out on Twitter. Sounds like he's getting some decent interviews with people, right? He was asking us for questions around the Texans, and it sounds like he's going to talk to some people in the organization. Like he's really pushing into some stuff. So
he goes and gets it. He works the angles. I think he must get a lot of emails going on. Now, Tom, I think your mic's just a bit dodgy here. I'm going to mute you while you're not talking. All right?
Cop that.
Just getting static everywhere. I don't know if anyone else was getting that.
It was a little bit static. That's all right.
It is what it is. Oh, there he is, Poiter.
Yeah.
Mr. Azzopardi.
Oh, mate, I've sent him all the messages.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to get yours. Like I said, yours is the voice that that I love. It's just warms
jump in,
my
Tom,
heart.
whenever you want.
It makes
mate.
me feel
listen
comfortable.
To Arch here.
The dulcet tones of yours.
Oh, just I don't know. It like I said to you before. I think it's a bit of a Gary Ablett Jr. type voice.
He was actually really flattered as well. He's contemplating changing his Twitter handle from FF Guest to FF Richard Mercer. Love song dedications.
Oh, love it. And just the sly, the sly sort of takedowns that he does, very casually. Love it.
Look, he is the only commissioner that hasn't won a Sheep's Championship, so... that's just in case you've missed that from the 714 times we said that on the podcast.
Oh, Brad's got family. It's not just putting kids to bed. Look,
bloody
hope
in-laws.
he's under the 10-person limit. Just gonna FF0 rings.
Got him. Yeah, I love it. Petey loves it. He loves it as much as I do.
That's good. Now, Tom, I want to hear about Fig Jam Sports. What have you been working on this season, and what's coming up in the future? I think Arch, you might have to unmute him, whereas he might be able to himself. No, it's all good.
No, I'm good.
Sick.
We're actually we started off as a bunch of NRL fans that started a random sports podcast, and
and that was the end of the story.
I'm so sorry.
Send
for a hot dog.
I know you're from South Australia, but Jesus Christ.
Send him for a hot dog. My goodness.
We've got a zero tolerance for NRL talk over here.
That was all Arch. That was all Arch, not me.
He's just jealous he doesn't have a South Australian team, right?
Anyway, back to my story. It gets better, all right? During our adventures of talking shit about NRL for 6 months, we found some guys that wanted to start an NFL podcast. And so we started it at the start of last season, and it took off like heaps bigger than our NRL podcast. Yeah. NRL podcast wasn't much. It was pretty much just 6 guys sitting on Zoom talking shit for an hour, and we get like 10 listeners, and it was awesome. Yeah. And 6 of them were us. So, but the NFL one, we actually got a couple of good co-hosts on, and we put a bit of effort into it, and actually did some statistics. And like, I've been following the NFL for a fair while, so I already knew a lot of stuff anyway. So anyway, it took off, and yeah, I'm loving it. Like the college stuff I really got into this year. Like, I always sort of followed it, but never really looked at the stats like from a podcast point of view. So we're going down that route this year. And yeah, I'm a big LSU fan, which is why I'm a Bengals fan. But so I've been following LSU for probably 10 or 12 years now, and yeah, but actually looking at the rest of the rosters in detail and seeing who's entering the draft, it's been a lot of fun this year.
Sweet. Well, how about then, Seamoz and Tom, how about you give us Dynasty rookies over here? We've played two seasons of Dynasty football I've played. Mm-hmm. Coming into this season, who do you like in a Superflex rookie draft? Who are you taking at the 1 and 2 spots? If you had to pick someone
first, right now. You should set him up properly here.
What do you mean?
In our home league, I've got the 101, you've got the 102. So.
Oh, look out.
That's true. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear Seamoz's answer here. This will be good. So I'll listen to your pod. I did listen to your latest pod, and if one of these guys isn't named, I'll be disappointed.
Look, I actually have in Sheeps too. I'm in a massive rebuild. That's our podcast league. I tell you what, I'm sitting there with the 101 thinking, geez, I hope someone come and gets this off me because I don't really want
it. I have shopped that bad boy around, don't you?
I know you wanted to give me the 101 for the, I don't know, like what did you offer? Like you wanted me to give you the 1 and 2 and plus something. I was like, I don't want to move up one spot with this 22 rookie draft. It's
get your guy. That's what you want to.
Yeah, but my guy's probably going to. I don't know who my guy is yet. That's why I'm asking the question here. So Seymour's filming it. Who should be my guy?
I'll let you know in about 6 weeks when I've done all my rookie analysis. But at the moment, I don't think it should be a quarterback. Going off all of the Senior Bowl hype as well, it's not a quarterback. It's probably not even a running back, to be honest. If I'm stuck with this 101, I'm probably going to be taking a wide receiver here. Traylon Burks is probably up there. Look, there's going to be a couple of options, but I'll be shopping it around, let me tell you. So anyone in Sheeps too that's listening, and I know that's everybody, of course, the 101 is for sale, and it won't cost you that much.
The landing spots this year, I think, are more important than I can remember. If Traylon Burks lands in a place where he's not the alpha one, I think it'll really hurt his production. But if he lands somewhere like the Browns, which I reckon the Browns would be a good spot for Traylon Burks, I'm smashing him at 101. But if he lands in somewhere like Green Bay, and say Devontae Adams is still there, I don't want Traylon Burks.
Yeah, fair call.
Pete's already shopping.
Porter, he's going to give you the 104 for the 101. Just straight up. Straight up.
And Dan? Yeah, I agree 100%. Landing spots, obviously, it's always important. But in saying that, Green Bay have been looking for a wide receiver too for a long, long time. And, Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns aren't exactly up to a wide receiver one. You can see with OBJ, right? He leaves and he's producing in the Rams. So
I think that was more OBJ, though. A fair bit. I think if Baker had a dog like Traylon Burks there, I think he would feed him. But yeah, if Garrett Wilson landed at the Browns, I would not be a fan of that too much. But if Traylon Burks lands there, which I think he will, yeah, I'm really excited. Or the Saints. The Saints would be an interesting one for Traylon Burks too.
True. Yeah,
if you're if you're a running back desperate team, there's a couple that I'd probably look at. Isaiah Spiller. We spoke about Breece Hall on the pod yesterday, so go and hit him up. He's all right, but he's not like the kind of Najee, Jonathan Taylor kind of quality. I think we're a little bit lacking this year on that kind of real high upside kind of guy. But you'll find some solid dudes that you'll be able to count on for your running back two, maybe even if you're real desperate, your running back one. But
so
Breece Hall,
what I was listening to earlier, last few days, is that your Brees Hall sort of is more your ready-made guy now, but Spiller's got a bit of a higher ceiling. He might, he'll come in a little bit underdone maybe, but should outdo Brees Hall, in a couple of years. Is that something you'd think about?
Yeah. Brees Hall's my RB1, and I can't put him above it. Brees Hall's the closest to the Najee Harris and Jonathan Taylors of this class. He's had 300 touches the last 2 years, and he was the RB1 for the 2022 class last year. Yep. So not very often that happens. They stay as the RB1 for 2 years. So yeah, I think just in that team, like, he just dominated in that team. But that team was arse. Like, they had no one else to give it to. So let's just give it to Brees Hall, but he fucking smashed it.
Ratings are out of this world.
Crikey, look out. That E for explicit's definitely coming here, boys. You're going to have to upgrade your podcast, so your Apple.
Yeah, sorry about that. We do get a bit loose over at Fig Jam, as you can say by our name. It's Fig Jam.
It took Peter a minute 38 yesterday, or minute 28 yesterday.
Did you hear that? That was very.
I was like, he's on early. He mine. No, he drops in most episodes, but he was in fine form early yesterday. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, that's good tips. So if say Simoz, so we're all very similar then, the three of us. We've got these 101, 102 picks. So you're saying just trade down, see if you get some wide receivers. Like myself, I'm not competing in my Dynasty League for another 2 seasons.
10 years old, I thought.
Oh, shut your face.
I love it.
So there's no point, for me, I'm thinking, there's no point taking a running back because I'm not really going to use them this year. I don't want them this year. I want to tank again so I can get my pick up to number 1 for the 23 draft. Is that kind of where I should be thinking?
Yeah, that's what I'd be doing. If I'm full rebuild, there's no way I'm taking running backs. And there's if the running back is your 101, say, like, it's a consensus in your league that the running back's probably the 101. It means someone will come up and pay for him. So if you can cash in and get another couple of picks, even if it's a late first this year and a first again next year, that's what I'd be looking to do. It might not happen. You might get a couple of seconds in there as well. But if you're a long way off, like my Sheep's 2 team, I think I scored like 20 points a week. It was absolutely abysmal. But all of a sudden, off last year, I think I drafted every quarterback that was there. Wilson, even Davis Mills got onto the squad, and all of a sudden I've got 4 quarterbacks. So yeah, I'm laughing. But yeah, it just depends on how far away on that rebuild. If you're a long way off, wide receivers and quarterbacks, it's the cheapest time is to get him in a rookie draft, right? So pick them up now and let everyone else scramble for the running backs like they usually do. It's just always fun to watch.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got one question for you.
Oh, send him, mate. I love him.
Cam Akers.
Oh, yes.
Is the sell high window officially shut now? Has he ruined it?
I have too much Cam Akers. I'm still a buy on him. I won't lie to you. I reckon next year he's the guy. They've kind of shown, right? He's just come off an Achilles and he was the workhorse. And Michelle was performing, and he's kind of just been a non-factor apart from a couple of touches here or there. So we'll see what happens this game. We'll see what happens in the off season. But I'm still a buy on Cam Akers. I like him. I've always liked him.
I've got him in my main league in Fig Jam Dynasty, and I only bought him not that long ago. I'll tell you the trade because it was an interesting trade. Justin Herbert and Josh Jacobs for Joe Burrow and Cam Akers.
I mean, it's almost a push.
What side? Is there a side that wins?
Well, Herbert and Burrow, I reckon it's whichever one you prefer. I mean, Herbert will give you a good week, 14 out of 15 weeks, and so will Burrow. And then I suppose the age is the difference in the Akers-Jacobs thing, right?
I reckon they're the same age, aren't they? Josh Jacobs is very young. Yeah. He's like 21. He's been in the NFL for ages.
He's 14.
No, it's legit.
So true. He's so young. I can't get over that. I like that trade, actually. I think because the higher risk is with Jacobs because he's seen more time on the NFL field. So you're able to get a guy that at that lower cost because of an injury, and he comes in. Yeah, you could in the Rams. like we know what the Rams can do on offense, and I think they'll lean on him. I'm excited to watch Akers next week. He got injured though, right? He was held out for some of the rest of the game.
No, he fumbled and they sat him on the bench.
Fumbled a couple of times now, but yeah, so there is only a year of age difference. 22 versus 23. Akers 22. Jacobs 23. But
take off as well the fact that he barely played this year. I know it was recovering, but it's still less hits on your body. So if he comes back good from the Achilles, then I think you're looking at a pretty good trade there. Of course, I want Joe Burrow to succeed because he's on my main dynasty team as well. So I'm also biased.
Hang on, which side did you get, Tom?
I got Burrow and Akers.
Oh, the other side wins then.
Good. Yeah, good.
No, I'd probably take the Burrow Akers. So I think Herbert, there's some question marks. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, how long are they going to be around? But, with Chase and Higgins and even Tyler Boyd, if he sticks around a long time, you want to kind of pair yourself up with those guys, right? And Jamar Chase is just an absolute freak. So give me him any day. And that team just looks like they're on the rise still, even though they're made the Super Bowl. It's like it doesn't look like they've hit their stride still. So, I'm a little bit probably on that.
It's crazy how we're just looking at professional LSU. Really, that's all it is.
Yeah. So that 2019 season with LSU was unbelievable. That's probably the greatest team I've ever seen. Like NFL, college, anything. It was unbelievable.
That was good. What are you guys picking for next week? Super Bowl. We've got a Rams team that I feel like I'm not talking about them so much because it's like everyone expected them to win against the 49ers, even though they lost them 6 times in a row, and then to get that win, they almost lost it really. But the Rams look like the more mature side. But I don't know. There is something about the Bengals that I'm just loving at the moment. But where are you guys leaning on this? How close is it going to be, or is it going to be a bit of a one-sided affair?
Oh, go on, Tom. Have a go, mate.
Do I need to say anything?
Rams, NA.
I actually tipped the Rams to go undefeated this year. At the start of the season, we did a prediction podcast, as everyone does. And I tipped the Rams to go undefeated as one of my bold predictions. They didn't get anywhere near that, but I thought their team on paper, and then they added Von Miller and
huge.
OBJ, just ridiculous. I don't know. The only thing is Matt Stafford's thrown a few interceptions the last 6 weeks, and our DBs have been really good. That's the only thing. Maybe we can win it that way, but Jesus Christ, there's no way our O-line's going to be able to hold back Aaron Donald. Seriously, it's scary.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of sack lunches here, I reckon. There's going to be plenty of nom-noms. Yeah, I want the Bengals to win because, division rivals. I'm a Cardinals fan, and if the Rams win, there's no point in watching NFL for the next 5 years. So, I'll pick. I picked the Bengals on our pod last night. I'll have to stick with it, but I'm reluctant, very reluctant. If I was a betting man, which maybe I am, I'd probably be betting on the Rams.
Yeah, they're too good. They don't have any faults. The Rams, you look over their team on paper, it's where are their holes? Yeah. They've got the best cornerback in the NFL. They've got the best defensive edge in the NFL. They've got the best defensive tackle in the NFL. It's where do you beat them? I don't know.
Unfortunate.
Tough. Arch, what's your leaning?
Joe. Just Smoking Joe's going to do it.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, you need a couple of big 50-yard receptions.
Just, I think prior to the playoffs, or maybe it was after they beat Tennessee, I put a Super Bowl bet on the Bengals at $18, and so
love that.
They're good odds, so
bring it home. Yeah, that's good. I think. Look, you're right. It's just a lot of name power for the Rams, but I don't know. They don't blitz other teams. I feel like there hasn't been super comprehensive wins that they've just managed. There's just something about them that sits, I don't know, in my gut is saying they're beatable. They're just still beatable. And maybe it's the run game, but maybe it's Stafford. Stafford's been great. But you're right. He has thrown a few picks lately. He hasn't been super secure with the ball. I don't know if he's been as trustworthy. Cooper Kupp, though, I mean, just has been lights out, best wide receiver this year, and he's been phenomenal. So, yeah, it's a crazy one. That's for sure. So, looking forward to it.
I'm just hoping that the kind of trend continues. We go from Tampa Bay last year for a Tampa Bay win. We got LA game this year. Maybe the LA Rams will win it, and then next year's in Arizona. That's how it works, right? All these things comes in threes.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
Sure.
We're in. Yes.
Oh,
washing's done, boys.
Well, that's me. How do I turn that off? Sorry about
Same
that.
as mine. I love
my
it.
dishwasher.
Speaking Cardinals, Kyler Murray, how do you rate his season this year?
Started off real well, right? And then they just stopped using his legs and fell off a cliff, kind of thing. I tell you what, if you look at Cardinals chat, we've got a big what do they call it? Bird Gang Down Under. There's a massive chat on Facebook for the Cardinals fans. Whew, they want him out. Let me tell you, him and Cliff Kingsbury, get him out of here. Apparently, so. He has a couple of bad games, and it's see you later. Yeah, get rid of them all, apparently. But look, started off well, showed a lot of promise. We're worried about his passing over the middle, and the fact he can't see over the offensive line and stuff like that. And there's always knocks on his height. But if he could have kept going from what he did start of the year, you're absolutely laughing. But I don't know, just they seem to go away from his strengths, right? Like Lamar Jackson's a good runner, and why would you not make him run? And Kyler Murray is a good runner, and they weren't making him run. So, yeah. Pete has a party. I tell you what, mate. You know what? I'll tell you exactly how many there people. I'd love to see your Broncos chat that doesn't exist.
We have a Bengals fan down under, and we're on Cincinnati TV the other night. It was very exciting.
Hey,
yeah, I know.
That's
Tell us
awesome.
about it. There's
it's going to take me a while to count all these people.
There was 33 members when I joined, and now there's 200.
Hey.
Sweet.
I don't know how many's in my Vikings Down Under group.
I'm
That's
sure
a fair
there's
few,
plenty.
I reckon.
I'm sure there's plenty in the Eagles fan group, but I refuse to join it because they're horrible people.
Classic.
I picked the wrong fan base, that's for sure. Oh, dear.
At least you've had a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. What was that, Arch?
You tried to jump off them earlier in the year.
I was going to... If the LA Chargers followed my Twitter account, then I said I'd become a Chargers fan. But, alas, it did not happen.
They're charging too much for follows.
Yeah, it's look, I love Brandon
Desperate
Staley.
girl seeking a boy's attention.
So I gave it up. Jalen Hurts, ride or die. That guy.
Who are the Eagles fans thinking you should? What quarterback are they picking to draft?
Look, it really depends. Hey, I wouldn't mind Matt Corral. Actually, I kind of like Matt Corral. But that's just because I got mates who are old Miss fans and watched a bit of him. But look, it looks like Jalen Hurts is sticking around, but we'll see. It's a mess. When people talk about Jalen Hurts, people's feelings get hurt real quickly. And
I mean, it's in the name, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So I assume there's a Draft Stars Pro Bowl DFS thing we've got to do here, or is that they don't do the Pro Bowl?
I wouldn't assume Draft Stars have anything available to us.
Are you just teeing up Arch to just have another go again, are you?
I'm just reeling him in.
Honestly.
I love it.
The worst and only DFS provider now in Australia. Thank you very much.
There's two things that I always tune in for this podcast for, and it's the Draft Stars carve up. So I had to get something in there, and just the sing along for whatever week we're doing. So can we? Do you have that queued up? Can we get that going?
Oh yeah! It's pro bono DFS time. Yeah.
God, it's like we planned it. Hey, it's like it's
There we
scripted.
go.
Outstanding.
It's all there.
Well, this is a slick operation here. I've got this bloody app on the iPad ready to go with all my little sound bites.
Tell you what, our soundboard is this ready. You just go tap and then you just put it into the microphone and away you go.
quality.
If you ever hear a sound effect, it's usually Pete just playing around with some random soundboard.
Yeah.
He loves he's a ginger. He'll be in the chat loving this, I reckon.
Anchorman has some of the best sound bites.
Absolutely.
What's the one? It smells of rich mahogany. What's that? What's that quote? I use it all the time.
He has lots of leather-bound books.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I use that one a lot.
There it is.
This was one from back when CMC was relevant.
Yeah, it's made with bits of real panther.
Well,
CMC.
Oh man, we've been obviously doing DFS. See, Moz, we've seen you on the DFS leaderboards every now and then, which has been good. Tom, have you ever dabbled with DFS?
Never. I follow it. I follow it pretty closely. I'm not a. I don't know. I've never really got into it. So maybe
it's actually quite enjoyable. These boys do a pretty good job, and they always tell me to put in 10 to 15 lineups, and here I am with my measly $2 a week, putting in one lineup and trying to score. I just wait for their little sneaky ones where they go, I'm probably going to put this guy in the lineup, and then I wait for that 10 times a podcast, make a lineup, and sometimes it hits.
I've never really been a punter. I've never been. Yeah, I don't know. I never really got into that side of it.
Yeah, I'm not a typical I'm not a big a sports bettor or anything like that either. I think just this was the one thing that combined my love for fantasy sports and just that desire to win every single week as much as I could, and it doesn't always pan out, but it's been a decent season. Arch, have you found DFS?
Rebuilding.
Yeah. I know Dynasty can go, just sits over there. Hey, look, it's getting there. Rookie draft coming up. Keen as that'll be fun. But look, I had a good early start to the DFS season. I think there was weeks 2 through to 7. I was hitting multiple top 10 spots in one competition a week, and then I had this big dry patch in the middle, and that really sucked. Just whittling away at my winnings, and then it's jumped up again towards the end of the season. But it's you have to learn how to deal with the process. I think Archie, I feel like you refined your process more as the year went on than I may have. You got rewards towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to have a process, and I think if you just don't have a process, you're just throwing dartboards blindly, and so. Did I say throwing dartboards? Anyway,
frisbeeing them everywhere.
That's how bad I was going. But no, I really refined. I'd only pick 2 quarterbacks to zero in on that I'd make a stand, which is scary when you start fading good quarterbacks in good situations. But yeah, I like the game within the game of trying to work out what everyone else is going to do.
It's all up here, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you do the opposite and what the population choose fails, I get a huge leg up, and I think I got profitable in the second half. First half, we were a few extra deposits here and there. But
I'll tell you what, it was always good fun when you go, check my lineup, see how I'm doing, and you just see Arch's name in the top couple of spots, and then both of you are actually up at the top, and you're like, maybe I should have listened a bit harder, instead of just throwing my dartboards, as you called it.
Well, what you've just described is early in the slate. We're often sitting there, and what happens in the last 5 minutes is I then just plummet and look like it's just every time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. But it's not fun as well sometimes. But it's good. I love the contest, really, isn't it? It's
it's all about that. And you get to know the regular names on the Draft Stars site. Like we're talking about this before, Chris. Who do you put? What 6-man contest do you go into? Who are you looking for? There's names now
usernames
that I just know, and I'm like, these guys are multi-ended. They know what they're doing. They're all over it, and they just have the bankroll as well. That just to totally beat me out, which is a pain. But that's why I just stick to the $2 and the 50-cent contest, because really that's it's people at my bankroll that I can compete against, which is good.
Some of those people have probably got 20 burner accounts as well, just filling up the spots, and making their money back.
Just hope. Yeah, that's right. One thing will hit, right? I'll just.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we got one showdown slate to go for the year.
That's it. Super Bowl. And obviously there's no prices or anything like that. How do you guys think the game script will go for the Super Bowl? Are you thinking, like, I'm kind of leaning into like Rams being more run heavy plus Cooper Kupp, and then the Bengals will try and air it out. But I don't know. Tom, how do you think the Bengals will win or try to win?
Exactly how they beat the Chiefs. They've got to shut down Cooper Kupp. Like, just put 3 defensive backs on him if you have to, and yeah, just hope that Stafford throws it into Von Bell or Eli Apple's hands, because Eli Apple's not going to go up and get it. So let's just hope that he lands it right in his breadbasket. But yeah, I think that's the only way they can do it. If they can shut down Cooper Kupp and pressure Stafford. Trey Hendrickson and Hubbard have been so good this year.
Oh, phenomenal. Real good.
So yeah, I think they can pressure Stafford, and hopefully he throws a couple of interceptions and just shuts Cooper Kupp down. Like Tyreek Hill, did someone say he didn't have a catch in the second half or something? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So if they can do that to Cooper Kupp, that's how we win.
That's fair. Yeah, I like that. Moz, what do you think? How's this game going to go?
I'm thinking if the Rams get out to a lead, I think they'll hold a little bit better than the Chiefs. So I can see him trying to kind of get a couple of early touchdowns and then just grind the clock, as the Rams like to do every now and then with their pretty strong running backs. If they can't get rid of Kupp, I think they're in a bit of strife, the Bengals. Even though OBJ is still doing some things, I'd like to see what the go is with Tyler Higbee as well. If he comes back, he's possibly going to be a little bit of a weapon in that little DFS showdown that you were just talking about before. I'd probably be looking at him at tight end and maybe looking for a sneaky cheapies in the other ones. But I can see the Rams getting out to a lead and holding it a little bit better than the Chiefs did. Fingers crossed, though, the Bengals can start strong. If they get the ball to start and they get out to 7-0, we're in for a game, I reckon. If the Bengals score first, we're in for a game.
For sure. Arch, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's hard to get away from the Rams just having control, isn't it? But as Burrow says, they're a second half team, and hopefully, they just keep it. I just want football to be the real winner here, Rowan, and just keep
You're so close to saying you're going for the umpires there. I mean, like, seriously. Yes.
Heaven forbid, not the NFL. No.
Oh god.
No, I think the control will be on the Rams side. It's just whether Burrow can just keep them in touch to then be able to do some magic in the second half.
For sure. All right, lads. I think we're going to wrap this up. Thanks so much for jumping on. How about we get Moz you first, and then you, Tom. You can plug your podcasts, and where can the listeners find you? Go Moz.
Sheep Station Dynasty Podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You follow nowadays, or whatever it is, whatever it is, and on Spotify as well. Right into the rookie reviews as well. And I just want to say, outstanding job, boys. You've done excellent work on the DFS land. You've definitely helped us bounce as well, I guess, in the amount of listeners we get as well, having us on and giving us a plug and all that kind of stuff. So we appreciated you, and an outstanding job, boys. Well done.
Thanks, Moz. Tom?
I am at Fig Jam Sports on Twitter, and we are Fig Jam Dynasty Sports podcast. You'll have to sift through, though. Fig Jam Dynasty Sports podcast is a number of sports within the one podcast, so you've got to sift through and find my voice. I'm doing all the NFL stuff, so go and check that out. But if you want a laugh, if you want to enjoy the Super Bowl without watching the Super Bowl, just watch my Twitter feed. It'll be
Can't wait
laugh,
for the tilt. It's going to be great.
This is going to be good.
But be prepared that don't have any children around while you're reading tweets.
Luckily, my kid can't read yet, so it's all good. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much for jumping on for our penultimate episode. Arch, it's been good, and we are back next week with our last ever TFL podcast episode. How's that?
I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I can see the tears in your eyes now. That's right. Oh, dear. All right. come back next week, everyone. We're going to have our last DFS podcast. And otherwise, have a great week. Enjoy whatever Pro Bowl you may consume. And enjoy the fun. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, lads.
Cheers, boys.
Awesome.